Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And this morning, it is time for our twice monthly segment with Access Accelerator, Small Business Development Center. This morning, we are talking about their partnership with Junior Achievement Bahamas and the Access Accelerator pitch competition. Very pleased to welcome back to the show from Access Accelerator, Head of Advisory Services, Felice Bethel, and the Head of Post-Funding, Leo Roll. And also from JA, very pleased to have Tammy Leckie and today Hannah. Everybody, welcome to the show. Great to have you with us.
Good morning. Thank you, Dwight.
Good morning. Good morning, Dwight.
Good morning. Good morning, Tammy.
Hey, Dwight.
Been a long time. My old colleague, Tammy.
I know, right? But we're not going to talk about that
No.
way back in the days, right?
Years ago. But we'll get back to you, Tammy, in a second. But Felice and Leo, yeah, it's great to talk with you again. This is wonderful. A partnership with JA Bahamas, young business-minded people, future entrepreneurs, current entrepreneurs. Let's talk about that, why that's so important to be partnering with a group like JA.
Okay, so Access Accelerator encourages entrepreneurship among young people. The unemployment rate in the Bahamas for people between 18 to 24 years old is 24.5% compared to the world's average of 15.9%. So when you consider 181 countries, the Bahamas is performing below average in the area of youth unemployment. And studies show that prolonged periods of unemployment lead to depression, low self-esteem, and criminal activities. So the partnership between Access Accelerator and Junior Achievement Bahamas demonstrates our passion to help Bahamians realize from high school, even primary school, that working for someone else may not be your God-given purpose or assignment. You can be as successful or even more successful working for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great stuff there. All right, so Tammy, you can jump in here as well, and today as well, Leo. So, I mean, what are we seeing? Have mentalities, attitudes changed about that? That the future is in my own hands. I have to do this, or we still have a lot of people, as you said, Felice, thinking that I got to go work for somebody to be successful. What are we looking at? And what's changed, if anything?
Is that a question for Tammy?
For anybody, but Tammy, you can start from what you're seeing.
Well, good morning once again, Dwight. How are you? And of course to Chester. Thanks for having us. But listen, definitely, over the years, since my involvement with Junior Achievement, more and more students, as they come through the program, recognize that, hey, what I really want to do is work for myself, is set my own rules, set my own hours. These are the mindset of the millennials now, who are taking control of their professional careers. And we're seeing a lot of that now with the students who are enrolling in JA. They want to be their own bosses, they want to know more about financial literacy. And of course, we still have some students who want to be a good employee. So we're also preparing them to be ready for the workforce. But the pandemic definitely has changed a lot of the students' mindsets. And now they're looking at, okay, yes, still being entrepreneurs, but looking at how, being now in a virtual setting, how that business, how my idea now relates to what we're dealing with currently with the pandemic. So we're seeing that shift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I definitely agree, Tammy. Some of our achievers actually have their own businesses. We have a recent president, Daria Roll. She actually has her own business doing hair bonnet. And someone else, one of the achievers, they have their own company where they make beverages. I think this generation, like you said, the millennials, they're risk takers. They are going to work and try to elevate and take proactive steps, and they want to be entrepreneurs. They're taking that. They have that risk factor about them. They're going out there and they want to work for themselves. They're not sitting down somewhere where they're not comfortable. If they don't like the job, they are going to take advantage of the opportunity to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And another thing that we're seeing as well is, that side hustle. We have students, yes, like Tanae say, who are enrolled in school, but I got my little business on the side. Even with our alumni who have their regular 9 to 5, but they got their little hustle on the side based on the experience that they had with, junior achievement and being empowered to be their own bosses.
Yeah. Hey, nothing wrong with that. All right. So tell us about the partnership. How long has it been in place now between Access Accelerator and Junior Achievement Bahamas?
Well, I think we're going into our 3rd year right now with this partnership. And over the last 3 years, we have reached out to Access Accelerator and to facilitate our pitch competition, which is something that we have done the last 2 years during our annual business conference, wherein all of our achievers and students who are not a part of our program are welcome to register and participate in BahamaJAC. So they have come on board. They have put together a pitch, created rules and guidelines for the students. It's been wonderful. The students are learning. They are learning and also they're building their skills as to working with a team, because usually they are working with students who are not from their island. We will have students working together from Grand Bahama, from Eleuthera, from New Providence, from Andros in one group, where normally they wouldn't even get the opportunity to network that way. But Access Accelerator came in, took over the pitch competition. Students get to win money. What can I say? This is a love match between us and Access Accelerator at this point in time.
Oh, wow. All right. Wonderful stuff. Chester.
What is the creativity level we're seeing from these JA participants in terms of the things that they've come up with?
As far as products?
Yeah, and their pitches, etc.
All right, well, the pitch, and I'll let Felice speak a little bit more about the pitch and what they will be doing this year. But one of the things that I do know based on the students last year, what they walk away with is that, oh, hey, when I was first approached taking part in the pitch competition, I was scared. I was like, what is this? This seems so much bigger than I am. But once they jump in there and they did it, the takeaway was, okay, this is not as hard as I thought it was. If I have to do this now in real life, to go out there and pitch my business, I now have some experience and some guidance from JA and Access Accelerator to get it done.
And Tanae said earlier that millennials are risk takers. Well, I was happy to hear that, because adults often feel entrepreneurship is intimidating, sometimes because of limited education and or limited finances. You don't necessarily need a master's in business administration or $50,000 to start and run a successful business. So through this upcoming competition, we are challenging junior achievers to create a business model and pitch a business plan that requires total startup costs of $5,000 or less. The winning team is the one that comes up with the most creative and profitable model and plan.
Okay, so how will that be determined? You have judges.
Yes.
What are you looking for? Can you give us any hints as to what you're looking for exactly?
Sure. So we're going to have a panel of 6 judges, 3 from Access Accelerator, 3 from Junior Achievers. And so the idea is that we've gone through with them what your pitch should say. It should talk about your products and services, your pricing, who your target customers are, who your competitors are, and how your products and services are different and better than what they offer. They also have to talk to us about sales forecasts. How many products or services do you expect to perform or sell in a week, month, year? And then what are your costs and expenses? And then what are your net profit margins? And so there's some research that they have to do on their own, but we want to get them into the habit of not just thinking in terms of I want to sell this product or perform this service, but what is it that the market actually wants, and who am I targeting for these products and services, and how many of these products do we have to sell in order to break even and achieve a satisfactory profit? So we're going to be judging them, in terms of the components of the pitch and then the overall profitability and sustainability of the business model.
All right. So what are the deadlines? I know you said it's groups. So how many groups? What are the dates that people need to keep in mind?
Tammy?
Well, we have 14 groups competing in the pitch competition. Last week, Friday, there was a meeting between Junior Achievement, the participants, and Access Accelerator, where they were introduced to the pitch. So they have been working in their groups with mentors since Friday. And on Saturday, the 26th, at 6 p.m. is when the competition will actually take place. So they have had a week, a little bit over a week, to go ahead and prepare their presentation.
Wow, that's not that much time. That is a quick turnaround there.
Yes, fairly quick turnaround, but these kids are very resilient. When I checked in on them last evening, they're running. They got their ideas. They have divided the work amongst the group. They're excited, so they're getting it done. And came up with their products, their services, the names of their their companies. So listen, I think sometimes we underestimate our students, but they are more capable than we actually, give them credit for.
Indeed. All right. So tell us a little more about what the winner is going to get, and how much assistance they will be receiving going forward.
So the winning group will receive $1,500 to split amongst the group. And going forward, of course, they will have the opportunity moving forward to be a part of something that's in the works with Access Accelerator. I don't think we're prepared to touch on that as yet, but that's definitely in the okay. Well, Felice, you can do that. I didn't want to get into it,
Okay.
But yeah, they will have that opportunity. Go ahead, Felice.
Okay, so Dwight, we're currently working on a youth entrepreneurship program for people between 18 and 30 years old. And the idea is that we would provide them with the same access we provide all entrepreneurs: training, funding, consulting, and networking opportunities. So we're defining, the approval thresholds, but the training is going to come in the form of a boot camp to entrepreneurship. So there will be 1 week of that. And then they will get into a more structured course that deals with business plan or business development. And that will be followed by another pitch competition. And we will also assist them in terms of getting funding, grant, loan, or equity funding for their business idea. And there will also be a mentorship component, so that once they have a business idea, it's funded, they're not left on their own. We have mentors who will work with them for a period of time, as short as 6 months. It may be longer than that, obviously. And then so those are the things we're working on, and hopefully soon we'll be making an announcement with more concrete information.
That sounds very exciting. Wonderful stuff.
So these students will have to wait just a little bit before they can come in and get this idea funded.
Well, I mean, if that's something we're willing to consider, if we have a good pool of persons under 18, that's something we definitely can look into and decide if we're willing to help them in terms of funding the business idea. But the thing is, we just want to make sure that and it depends on the funding threshold that's determined. Entrusting $100,000 to a 14-year-old may not, so there's some things we have to work out in terms of the funding threshold and then the age limit to make sure that we're doing things responsibly.
Tell us about some of the past winners from the pitch competition, what they presented and where those ideas went.
Well, last year, and you're trying to play with my memory right now, Dwight. Thank you. Last year,
a workout.
Yeah, because that was quite some time ago. And of course, this COVID brain don't help at all.
No,
but no, I'm not blaming it on age. But last year, a lot of the students in their pitch, they presented apps. Quite a few apps. And I think the theme was dealing with COVID, and each team had a subtopic, whether it was how COVID has affected education, how it affected the workforce. Like, there were different categories that each group had to present on. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the presentations had to do with apps, especially when it came to I think someone did a saving app as well. So yeah, you really tested me on that one, Dwight. Thank you.
Maybe today could help. Do you remember Eddie today? No. Okay. Oh well.
Like, I guess I was going to say, was there anything so memorable that people were like, "Oh, we got to have this like right now. Somebody needs to do this. Y'all need to go get the money for this."
And the team from Access Accelerator last year, I don't think anyone on the team this year was on the team last year. And they were more hands-on with the pitch competition than we were, because we were just working the back end. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't think that any of the ideas were picked up. They were great ideas, by the way, but none was picked up, Chester.
Well, maybe this year. We're keeping our fingers crossed, right? Keeping our fingers crossed for this year.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. So this is all going to be part of the BahamaJAC conference. Is that right?
That is correct.
Right.
Our annual business conference happening next weekend, Friday, February 25th, with our opening ceremonies, which everyone can view live on our Facebook page. The conference runs through until the 27th of February. And also during the conference, we also have our national speech competition hosted by Toastmasters. At our national speech competition, we're going to have 3 competitors, one representing New Providence, one from Grand Bahama, and one from Eleuthera. And all 3 of those contestants would have won their competition on their respective islands. So now they're competing in the nationals, which also takes place on Friday during the opening ceremonies. On Saturday, the students then will be in their career sessions. And what that is that when they register, we ask the kids to tell us what careers are they most interested in. And we have 11 careers that will be facilitated by professionals, local business professionals in the respective fields. We're talking about IT, medicine, social media, programming, IT, law, we have legal affairs. I mean, the list just go on. Beauty trades, accounting, banking, and finance. So we have a professional in each one of those fields who is going to come in and speak to the kids about, what it is that they do, what happens in that respective field, and then ask the kids what it is that they want to know about, the field. What are their interests? Okay, so we have that all day on Saturday. And Saturday evening, of course, is the pitch competition at 6 p.m. Outside of that, of course, there is fun activities for them as well. There's going to be a virtual DJ dance party on Saturday. And on Friday, we're going to do a scavenger hunt. And of course, on Sunday, we wrap it all up. Of course, hallelujah, we go to church. We have a virtual church service on Sunday to tie up the entire conference.
Okay, but the speech competition and the pitch competition, they're not virtual, right? This is in person?
No, they're going to be virtual as well.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, but you will be able to see the speech competition during the opening on Friday evening, and the pitch, you should be able to see that too via Facebook on Saturday evening.
Okay, wonderful. Is there a theme with the speech competition? Everyone speaking on the same topic, or what do we?
Yes, everyone is speaking on the same topic, and the topic this year is charting a course to endless possibilities. That is the speech topic.
This is an exciting weekend ahead.
A busy weekend as well, yes.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, more with Access Accelerator and JA Bahamas. A lot more to talk with our guests about. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
I was actually born into farming. My grandfather, who is 80 years old, he's a first-generation farmer. 3 generations later, I decided to go into farming. So we do have 2 operating farms at this time, the one in Nassau and the one in Andros. This season, Access Accelerator assisted us in funding our strawberry project here on Andros. With us being able to access the Fish and Farmers Grant, it has actually given us the capital that we needed to start this farming season for our strawberry crop. We do believe that people eating organic food is very important, and we want to offer safe food and organic food. Some persons are still shocked that we've been existing for 8 years. Outside of having to come to our website to make purchases, if we can get more of our products to our clients, we'll be happy to do that, and local distribution would help us with that. I can tell you the industry is not attractive for young people. However, if you are passionate about something, you will definitely be able to excel in that area. And at this point for me, it's fun to be a farmer in the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas, small business is big business. More than 90% of the businesses in the Bahamas are classified as micro, small, or medium-sized enterprises, or MSMEs. The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center was created to serve them. We at the Access Accelerator offer a variety of services to our clients: business advisory services, training and entrepreneurial programming, mentorship and incubation, and advocacy.
Back here with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9, Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. We are talking with Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center and JO Junior Achievement Bahamas. We've got Felice Bethel and VOO from Access Accelerator, and we have Tanya Leckie and Tanae Hanna from JA Bahamas having a great discussion this morning about their pitch competition and BahamaJAC coming up this weekend. All right, so Felice and Leo, tell us some more about what young entrepreneurs or even older ones, what is in store, what lies in store for them through Access Accelerator, what they can be doing if they have ideas as well and are inspired by what we've been talking about this morning, and they might be inclined to make a pitch. What should they be doing if they are thinking about something like that?
All right, good morning. Thank you. Thank you for the question. In terms of new and of course not so new entrepreneurs, I'd like to first of all advise that we have a new board with Mr. Lon. First of all, let me thank the old outgoing board for their years of contribution to the SBDC. Our new board is comprised of Mr. Lon Baisden, who's the chairman, Mr. Ian Colbrook, who's the deputy chairman, Nolan Carey, J.L. Gibson, James Jomas, Tad Martin, Creighton Moxie, Mark Turnquist, and of course, our consultant, Loretta Butler Turner. These persons have a cadre of initiatives that they have on the table, and we are looking forward to those persons who may have an idea or who are interested in starting their own business to take a second look at the Access Accelerator. And in doing that, we have a plethora of products and services that can be offered. Apart from providing funding or access to funding for small businesses, we also have advisory services where we assist clients and assist those persons who have opened their businesses, whether it be a fledgling business or whether the person is a serial entrepreneur, with advisory services to ensure that the business remains viable and sustainable over the years. And so at present, we have our RCL program that is aligned, or it targets those businesses that operate in the tourism industry. And what it does is it allows them to get up to $15,000 of grant and loan funding. So it'll be a combination of grant and loan. Half of it is a grant, half of it is a loan. If the business has or makes in below $250,000 a year in sales, they can qualify for up to $5,000 in funding. That will be, as I said, half a grant, half loan, 3% interest on the loan over a term of 5 years. If they make in excess of $250,000 but less than $500,000, they can qualify for up to $15,000, again in the combination of a grant and loan. If they make in excess of $500,000 but less than $1 million, then they can qualify for up to $15,000 in grant and loan. And so Access Accelerator continues to maintain the status quo and encourage businesses, those persons and those entities to continue to operate and to continue to come to us. So Dwight, I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Sounds like it. So what are some of the documents, the information, what should be included in that pitch, and what's going to increase your chances of getting that support?
So the pitch the pitch that we do at the Access Accelerator, similar to the pitch competition, allows us to get an idea of what it is, or how knowledgeable of the business the person is. And so it's almost, in my mind, because of being a former educator, it seems like a dissertation defense to me. But of course, it's a watered down version of it. And so we ask questions based on the business plan. Each member of the pitch team will determine, okay, are these financial projections achievable? What do you know about the business? Is it a market that's saturated? How do you plan to provide a mutually beneficial arrangement with those partners? What market research have you done? Have you done a SWOT analysis? And we try to determine, or to get the entrepreneur to be as forthcoming as possible with us, and to ensure that the business is something that's viable. Mm-hmm.
Generally, how many people are in that process? Is it like Shark Tank? You're sitting in front of people to pick it.
So it is. We usually have a team of persons external to the SBDC as well as an internal team, and those persons, it's usually about between 5 and 10 persons, and each person is provided with the business plan ahead of time. And so the business plan, the documents, the personal statement of financial affairs, the KYC documents for the client. And so what we do is, from past experience, let's say that there's a client who is already in an existing business, and they say, well, hey, I'm making X amount of sales and my products are being sold in a super value, so to speak. What some members of the team will do is go to those places and say, let's see if the product is there. Let's see if it's actually making sales. Let's see if the shelves are stocked with the product, or if there's only a limited amount, which tells us that there's a demand or an appetite for it. Mm-hmm. Additionally, what we do is we try to determine, or try to get the client to help us to see this business futuristically. And so if they look at it today, where do they plan to go in the future? A part of the reason why we have the post-funding department that sits, which is my department, that assists every client that has been funded through the Access Accelerator, is because we can actually have a cursory view, having a portfolio of clients. And so if there's a business that's in the food and beverage industry, we can look at our portfolio and say, well, this client is saying they can make $500,000 in sales in a year. But when we look at our portfolio, experience tells us, no, that type of business usually makes around 100,000. And so we kind of gear the financial statements and gear the projections along with what we know from experience. And so we would, of course, encourage those clients to kind of tailor those custom-made projections, so to speak, and ensure that they are more in line.
We know there are a lot of people who experience stage fright, and they know all of the details. They know what they need to say, but they just won't be able to do that in front of a group like that. Is it acceptable? Can you bring in somebody who can be the pitch man or woman and let them, I guess, do that? It's almost a performance, but they're in the background, knowing exactly what they want to do with their company.
So Dwight, actually before the pitch, we have pitch preparation sessions. So we have an advisor who walks entrepreneurs through what the pitch is, how to prepare them for questions. It's always best when the person who's going to be running the business is pitching the idea, because when those very detailed, specific questions come up, they should be able to answer. You should not be referring always, unless it's a technical question like depreciation or, something only an accountant may know. But you should be able to say, this is my business. These are my products and services. This is how often we're going to sell it. This is the level of demand we have. This is the amount of market research we've done. These are the strategic partnerships we have. And once they're able to communicate that, you don't have to use big words. Just simply explain your idea in 2 minutes, answer the questions as directly as possible, and you're okay. You can have an accountant on with you, but as the leader and face of your organization, it's important that you present as well.
And you haven't had any issues, have you, where somebody is completely paralyzed with fear? They've been able to get through it.
Dwight, literally, I maybe shouldn't say this, but we've had somebody who was so nervous, he literally did the pitch from the bathroom. You read between the lines. But guess what? He got through it. He pitched his idea, he answered his questions, and we were completely forgiving of the fact that he was nervous. And we liked the fact that despite how nervous he was, he didn't back away from it. He presented his idea, he got through the experience, and that demonstrates that, okay, when business may get a little uncertain or shaky for this client down the road, he isn't going to run away. He's going to show up and he's going to persevere.
That's a great story. That's amazing. And how's he doing today?
Well, he recently just went through the credit committee process. So we're now working through, the funding application being accepted by the banks. But in terms of that pitch, experience, it was terrifying, but at the same time, he triumphed. So we were very, very proud of him.
It's a great story. That is a great story. All right, we're getting a couple of text messages. Somebody says here, what if I have a company that presented a business plan, but there's been little movement? What do I do now?
What was the last part of what you said?
He said there's been very little movement, and so what do they do now? They presented a business plan, but there's been very little movement.
It depends on what they mean by present, because let's say when you sign up, there's a quick 5-step process. You complete an online registration form. You complete another form that tells us specifically what service you want. Once you submit all of your documents, including your business plan, we have an initial team of reviewers who are going to review the plan. So when they say present, I don't know if they mean submit the business plan, it's been reviewed, and there's some outstanding questions or documents they may need to provide, or do they mean that they've actually gone to the credit committee? Because that is the formal presentation of the plan to it's no longer credit committee, but investment committee. And that is where the movement really begins once the committee approves the idea.
Right. And if they do want to get some more information, what do they need to do? Who do they contact?
Leo, you got
Sure.
those numbers.
Not a problem. I always have them in mind. So they can go to the website, www.accessaccelerator.org. They can sign up there, or they can actually send an email to our help desk. And the email for that is helpdesk@sbdcbahamas.com. Additionally, we have, with the advent of technology, made it possible for persons to WhatsApp us. And so they can WhatsApp us at 359-0626 or 359-2394. And so definitely, depending on where that client is, as Felice would have said, Dwight, it's just a matter of them. We had an exercise recently where we reached out to our entire database with clients that would have been waiting and just asking them whether they were still interested in the opportunity with the Access Accelerator or whether they, have already moved on. And so for all of those persons who would have contacted or reached out to us, we are now in the process of going back to them. And so all they need to do is either WhatsApp us, send us an email, and we will definitely go ahead and reach out to them.
All right. So the text is saying it's at the credit committee that you talked about, and but they should still send that email and see what happens there.
Exactly.
All right. Let's get back to our friends from JA Bahamas and just give a little background, Tammy, today, information for those in high school thinking about JA Bahamas maybe next year. What are the ages that you can get into junior achievement? What grade levels do you have to be at? And what do people need to know?
Hi, Tanae, you want to take that one?
Yes. So, well, what a lot of people don't know is Jay actually has an elementary program. We have club programs that start from kindergarten. So our club programs are facilitated by the teachers at the schools. Once the school would reach out to us or the guidance counselor and they fill out the registration form, we've been advertising and contacting a few schools as well. So once they get through that process, we provide them with a virtual kit. We have physical kits as well, but we had to pivot with the changing times due to the pandemic. And with these kits, the students get to use activities to help them get a primary emphasis on financial literacy, work readiness, and it even involves, it's a strong emphasis on mathematics, reading and writing skills. And the club program, it gives students from elementary or, well, we say primary school straight up, an understanding of fundamental business, economic concepts, and they get to explore career interests and opportunities. And this also ties into our conference because we even have career sessions in BahamaJAC that helps them to talk to professionals, different professionals like Ms. Lecky mentioned.
Oh, okay. Primary school. That's amazing. It's just picturing it. That's really something else. But a lot of these kids have some entrepreneurial minds. You can see it in them from a young age. And in high school, is the interest level there as ever, or what are we seeing at the moment?
Well, in high school at the moment, the interest is not as great as it was, 3 years ago, and that's because our programs are virtual for high school right now. And I know you're talking about the company program because that is what everybody is familiar with or know JA to be, okay? But like Tanae just stated, we have programs from kindergarten all the way up to grade 12, okay? So because of the pandemic and the students now in their learning environment have to be on meeting platforms during the day. And then in the evening, we ask them again, hey, come and, be on another, meeting platform in the evening. Some kids they're just tired. They're just tired of the virtual, okay?
Oh,
but with that as well, because of the pandemic, we had to decrease the number of students that each sponsoring firm would take into their care for the 18 weeks of the program. And the reason why we did that is because with it being virtual, we wanted to create an environment where it was manageable by the actual volunteers from each company. Okay, so you could imagine a virtual world trying to have a meeting with 100 students at one time. That just doesn't seem like it'll work. So we had to as well decrease our numbers as far as students who participate in the program. But like everyone else, we are looking forward to the new program year, which starts in September. And hopefully, we'll be able to do a lot more of our events, activities face-to-face. So we're looking forward to that. And I do know that students out there are also, and sponsoring firms are looking back to us getting to that, to face-to-face delivery of our programs.
And the companies that are looking to sponsor, what do they need to do? What should they be doing?
All right, if any company out there wants to be a sponsor, just go ahead and you can send us an email, info@jabahamas.org, or you can call me, Tammy Leckie, at 802-3917. We also have an office number, 818-9720.
Okay, wonderful stuff. And we got a final minute here. Felice and Leo, one more time, tell us the website to get the information about Access Accelerator and how to reach out to get more information.
Sure, Dwight. So it's www.accessaccelerator.org, or they can send an email to helpdesk@sbdcbahamas.com. They can also WhatsApp our hotline at 359-0626 or 359-2394. And we invite the Bahamas to take a second look at the Access Accelerator.
Right.
And you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram under Access Accelerator.
Great stuff. Felice Bethel, Leo Roll with Access Accelerator, Small Business Development Center, and Tanae Hanna and Tammy Leckie with Junior Achievement Bahamas. Great talking with all of you this morning. Thank you so much. Very exciting stuff. We'd love to meet the winners of the pitch competition. That would be great. So keep us in mind after this weekend.
Most definitely. Thank you so much for having us. Dwight, I don't know why you keep calling me by my full name.
I don't know what my problem is.
Yeah, and Preston does the same thing, but it's cool. It's cool. If it rings off, then let it go. But
Hey,
thank you so much for having us.
Tell us what you prefer us to call you.
Tammy Leckie is cool.
That's what we thought. All right. Thank you all again. We're going to take a quick break and then be back to wrap things up. Thank you. Stay with us.
You're welcome.